Good morning, good morning. Welcome to my Monday messages. For those of you just tuning in for the first time, I'm Rebecca. I'm a homeopath, I'm a holistic life coach, and I'm a natural health advocate. So I just pop in every Monday at 10 o'clock to share a thought, a simple practice, something that hopefully will stimulate all of us in just being able to identify the things that work for us in our lives and the things that perhaps aren't working so well, and be able to change them if necessary. So today I wanted to talk about a couple of things that I've noticed over the last week, and they're kind of both weather related in a way. The beautiful, beautiful, hot, sunny weather here in Ireland. I know that other countries are experiencing this as well, but here in Ireland, we're not used to having consistently sunny, hot weather. And the wonderful thing about that is that when it comes, we really appreciate it. Even if we're not Irish, anybody living in Ireland, we really appreciate it. And we tend to down tools and just really go with it, and to just put all the kind of stuff that we're preoccupied with to one side so that we can enjoy this beautiful weather, so that we can get to the beaches if we're lucky enough to live near beaches. We can be outside, we can picnic, we can barbecue, we can invite friends round, we can invite family round, we can live outside much more than we usually do. We can swim in the sea, and I did all of those things last week, and it was just glorious. And none of those things, or very few of those things, actually involve any kind of modern technology, apart from obviously transport to get to places if you need to. But the real pleasures, the real playing, if you like, that pleasure we get when we're just being and just really connecting with the earth around us and noticing things and noticing how cool the water feels, and that lovely feeling of coming off the beach when you're kind of covered in salt and sun cream and a bit of sand and that heat on the skin. I love it. Might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I love it. And then 2 nights ago, we had a power cut. And the initial response was, oh, God, that means I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do that, I can't watch this, or, whatever. Very fleeting. And what actually happened with the power cut was that we ended up, my husband and I, we ended up outside, sitting around a fire. My husband picked up his guitar and sang, which he hasn't done for a long time, actually. We shared some wine and we lay back and watched the night sky and absolutely marvelled in all the meteorites, the shooting stars that we saw. And I'd completely forgotten that it's a lovely time to see a lot of shooting stars, actually. It had just got lost in all the information that comes at me, excuse me, online. And it gave us both such pleasure to spend our evening in that way, that we went inside and we lit candles when it got too cold. And we just had a lovely, lovely evening. And it made us think, well, why don't we do this more often? Why does it get lost so easily, these simple pleasures that are the joy of which is really lasting and sustainable? It doesn't cost anything either. And it's because we get into a habit of just doing things for convenience, or because it's there, or because we can. We're always doing, and that's largely, I think, down to being connected, being plugged in some way. And we often think, when we think about our fears, that when we're not able to access things like electricity and power sources, that means that the end of the world is going to be here. And of course, it's the end, it could be the end of some kind of world, but it's by no means the end of being able to experience the joys and the pleasures that we can still do without modern power sources and the over-reliance that I think a lot of us have in it, or on it, on it. Anyway, so what I wanted to do this week was just remind us all of how much pleasure and playing is available to us when we're not doing and when we're not especially connected to a power source by means of a screen, whether we're working on a computer, whether we're scrolling, whether we're Zooming, whether we're watching something on TV, or just, doing chores because we have electricity. What happens when we don't have that? Does the world fall apart? No, it doesn't. We adapt very quickly, actually. And the interesting thing to me was that my husband and I the other night, we didn't discuss what we were going to do. It just happened organically. And it was lovely. So, and the same with when the sun shines, we often don't discuss. We just go, okay, let's go out and let's play in the sun and celebrate the warmth and the way that it makes us feel. So what I wanted to do this week was encourage you to do that on a more conscious level. So maybe selecting an evening a week, or just this week, whatever takes your fancy, of just kind of pretending that you don't have electricity and see what everyone does. What would you do if you didn't have access to all those gadgets? And that's not just screens, by the way. It's things like hoovers and cleaning things, all of that kind of stuff. What do we do? What do we invite in to our lives when we're not plugged in to a power source? That's it. That's just my message for this week, is just to unplug consciously and see what comes in to your life. Share if you want to. I'd love to hear what you get up to. And also just give me a heart in the comments below if you think that sounds possible, if you think that sounds something that you could do, that you think would be beneficial to you and your family. The other interesting thing was that my son and my mother-in-law actually chose to go to bed early, and that's something that they both really needed to do for different reasons. And they both said afterwards that they wouldn't have done that had the lights still been on. They would have, in my son's case, he would have stayed on his computer, and my mother-in-law would have continued watching television. And they both realised the next day that they felt much better for having gone to bed early. So even if it's just that. And thank you very much for the comments there. And I think that's Mairead, is it? Is it Mairead? Yes. Anyway, good morning. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so that's it for this week. And do let me know if you've any comments on that. And thank you for watching if you're watching live, and also if you're watching on the replay. It's not too late. Let me know what you think about my suggestion of pretending there's no electricity for an evening. Have a wonderful week. Take care. Bye.